Smith joins us now. We'll get to the game shortly. Stephen A., you were there. It was supposed to be about Kyrie and LeBron. It quickly became about Gordon Hayward. Your reaction to what you saw when he went down?
Well, I was just a few feet away. I was standing near the, under the basket over there by courtside, somewhere about, I guess, about 20 feet away. And you just saw it go down, and it was nasty. It was really an ugly kind of injury. And then you immediately saw Dwayne Wade get to one knee and start praying. You saw other players just turning away and just cringing. And you saw him obviously writhing in pain on the floor. It was just a devastating thing to see from a humane perspective. A guy like Gordon Hayward, who's a star in this league, he can really, really play. You know he's going to have an impact. And to see him go down like that, you weren't just thinking about the injury right now. You were wondering whether or not it was career-ending. You still want to hear what doctors have to say because that's how devastating the injury looked. From a basketball perspective, the thought that immediately jumped to your mind is that we thought that obviously this was a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. We saw these two teams going at it tonight. We anticipated that it would be the same. This was like the prelude to that. And then all of a sudden, when that happened, you just looked at Boston and you said, hey, they're done. Jaylen Brown is impressive. Jason Tatum in only his first game is impressive. Kyrie is Kyrie. We all know that. But Gordon Hayward was a huge, huge piece to all of this. And the fact that he's gone down, you don't want to sit up there and just put that kind of omen on the team. But it's hard to imagine that they're going to be the significant players that we all anticipated they would be as a team without him. And so those are the two thoughts that just jumped to your mind. But initially and first and foremost was his injury and how devastating it was just to him as a player and to the Boston Celtics as an organization and to the NBA community, because you never wanted to see that happen to anybody. You really don't.
Without a doubt. And you see it on social media. Everyone's so affected by it. And the Celtics came back and gave a good effort without their fallen teammate. Games have to go on here, Stephen A. And looking at the Cavaliers, they were able to squeak out a victory here. What stood out about this new Cavs team without Kyrie, with all these new faces?
Well, a couple of things. They're not all great. Number one, their depth is impressive. Number two, LeBron looks massive. I mean, if you can imagine, he actually looked significantly bigger. I don't know whether that's true or not. I haven't asked him, but he looks massive, and more massive than he's looked in the past, for crying out loud. You look at Dwayne Wade being on the court. I saw J.R. Smith on the bench. Only had 21 minutes tonight. We know and we heard that, he wasn't happy with being relegated to the bench. He was sitting on the bench in the closing minutes with Dwayne Wade on the floor instead of himself, with his hood, wearing a hoodie, putting his hood over his head on the bench. So he clearly did not appear happy to be sitting on the bench. And you got to wonder what kind of fallout is going to ensue just from that entire situation. But they still have some gelling to do. Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade on the court struggled from the perimeter. Dwayne Wade only hit 3 of 10 shots. Derrick Rose was getting to the hole, but he wasn't hitting jump shots. LeBron James came to the rescue, despite the fact that he was about 75 to 80%, according to some people. He still nearly had a triple-double. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's still LeBron James team. Obviously, they have some depth and what have you. But that J.R. Smith situation, keep your eyes out on it, because obviously he's accustomed to playing a pivotal role, and that wasn't the case tonight with him scoring 10 points off the bench. You got the sense that his frustration still has not gone anywhere.
It is LeBron's team, Stephen A., but there's a lot of mouths to feed on that Cavs roster. Even a guy like Kyle Korver didn't play very much.